So last year in 2023, I made a video about 5 updates that Sea of Thieves needed. And did any of those updates come true? No. So I wanted to make a video about 5 updates Sea of Thieves needs in 2024, but the list is different than my last video. So in my last video, the 5 updates that I talked about were bringing back Arena, giving you more supplies when you play an Hourglass, a walk the plank feature, and upgrading/downgrading your ship, and Hunter's Call emissary or voyages or some sort of updates. So I'm going to talk about those real quick as kind of some like honorable mentions. Also, real quick before we get started, these are just my opinion. All these ideas are just mine, so if you disagree with them, that's okay. But just let me know how you feel about these opinions. Again, they're just mine based on my personal preference and personal experience. So let's just get into it. So first, I'll just talk about Arena really quickly. That one's not happening. They're never going to bring back Arena. I loved Arena. I think a lot of people did, but it's never coming back. I just got to accept that. The next one is Hourglass supplies, like starting with more supplies when you load into Hourglass. Honestly, like as I play Hourglass more, I don't really think that's needed too much. I think what you have is a good amount to start out with, and then you just take the people's supplies that you beat. You go on a win streak. Like, it is annoying to lose all your supplies, but honestly, I think the supplies you start out with are pretty good. When I made this list last year, I didn't play Hourglass too much. Next, walk the plank. I think that needs to happen. I don't know how we have a pirate game without a walk the plank feature. My last video, I said it'd be kind of similar to voting someone in the brig, but if you make him walk the plank, you kind of kick him off the ship. I think it'd be funny. Like, you kick him off the ship and they don't get a mermaid to spawn in for a couple minutes, so they can't come back. I think it'd be funnier if like you could take someone from another crew and make them walk the plank somehow. I don't know how it'd work, but I think a pirate game needs a walk the plank feature. And upgrading and downgrading your ship. What I mean by that is, let's say you're on a brig, but you have someone else join you, like join your party, and they want to play, but you're in the middle of a voyage, you've got a bunch of loot you're stacking, they can't play. So I think there needs to be a way in-game, you could go to like an outpost or something, and you could, even if it costs a couple thousand gold, that's fine, basically turn that brig into a galleon, keep all your loot, keep all your supplies, and then you should also be able to downgrade it. So like if you have somebody get off and you're doing a galleon, you downgrade it back to a brig while staying in the same server and not having to leave the game. And then the last honorable mention is Hunter's Call emissary or voyages or some sort of update to Hunter's Call. Fishing is terrible. I don't mind it, but Hunter's Call is a grind. I think an emissary flag for it would be cool. Like, you catch a certain number of fish, it upgrades your emissary flag, and then you can get bonus for fish. Or like Hunter's Call voyages, where like maybe it gives you a location, you could find some sort of rare fish there, and then you gotta go catch that fish and deliver it somewhere. I don't know, just some sort of update to Hunter's Call. So those were my 5 honorable mentions. So now let's start the real list of updates that Sea of Thieves needs in 2024. And these are in no particular order either, but I'm still going to rank them, I guess. So number 5 is Hourglass only servers. So what I mean by that is, like, you know how when you play Hourglass, it spawns you in a random server with the other ship you're fighting. So have you ever been in an Hourglass fight and you win? It took you so long to win, and after you win, you just see a ship coming right towards you when you're trying to gather supplies, or that ship was already waiting for that fight to finish. Just in that server, that ship was just waiting, and then they come sink you right after because you got no supplies left. You're kind of caught off guard. That happened to me the other day, and it was sort of the inspiration for this video, because it doesn't make any sense to me how Hourglass just spawns you in a random server where any ship can just come fight you. You can't leave that little circle, but they can go in the circle and they can go sink you. Like, if you're on a sloop and then just a galleon just pulls up and you're like, what are you supposed to do? So I think Hourglass should only put you in a server with the other Hourglass player you're fighting. I don't know if they would want to put a whole new server just to have one hourglass fight, but maybe like just like one server, and then the only thing that could happen in that server is hourglass fights. I don't know exactly how they would do that, but I just don't think that you should be fighting the hourglass fight you're fighting and another third-party ship at the same time. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So they need to change that. Number 4 is another hourglass update. I've been playing a lot of hourglass recently. I've been enjoying it, trying to get the ghost curse. But anyway, number 4 is a shrinking circle in hourglass. I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or an unpopular opinion. I really don't know. But some of these hourglass fights take like 30 minutes, and it's just like not worth it. Like even if you win, you don't get enough rep for it to make up for your time. And if you lose, then it just wasn't worth your time at all. And some players just like to just run around and play kind of the long game, which I get it's strategy, but it's just kind of boring sometimes. So I think a shrinking circle would make it more fun. I guess like Fortnite or some other battle royale games with that shrinking circle. Just to kind of bring down the time of the matches. Like, I don't want to be sitting there for 30 minutes. Like, that's just not fun. Like, sometimes if a match is going on, like, you can just tell the player you're playing against is just going to keep running away from you and not going to fight you. And they're just going to wait for you to make a mistake or something. Like, I'll honestly just scuttle my ship because it's just not fun doing that. That's probably just personal opinion. Like, all of these are going to be personal opinions. So, I think there should be a shrinking circle in hourglass. Coming in at number 3, and I think this is the most likely thing to happen on this list, is Sea of Thieves coming to PS5 and PS4. And it's only good for the game. It grows the player base. I don't want to say Sea of Thieves is dying, but it could definitely use another player base, like another big console player base, considering more people have PlayStations than have Xboxes. I personally play Sea of Thieves on Xbox. Sometimes I play on PC. And I think just be good for the game, grow the game a lot more, expand it. Maybe it could also come to Nintendo Switch, but I don't think Nintendo Switch could run Sea of Thieves very well. I mean, they could try, but who knows. But yeah, Sea of Thieves coming to PS5, I think benefits everybody. I know Rare is a Microsoft studio, but I think some Rare dev or someone who's important said something about Sea of Thieves coming to PS5 and PS4. I'm not exactly sure like what was said or what the rumors are, but I know that it's being talked about a lot. Number 2, you're really going to have to hear me out on. This might expose me for being a casual player or whatever, but that's fine. And that is, I think Galleons should be able to have a 5th player. Galleons are horrible to operate. Unless you have 4 players who all know what they're doing, and most of the time when you're playing on a galleon, at least in my experience, you don't have 4 players who are competent enough to all run a galleon. I mean, raising the anchor even with 4 players takes a long time. Adjusting all the sails, turning the galleon's terrible. And it's just so big. Like, I think a 5th player would really benefit a galleon. I know there's people who are just absolutely insane on galleons. 4 golden ghost curse guys just run servers with galleons, but that's not most players. This might just be me speaking from personal experience. Like, this is the one thing on the list that is the most like personal preference of mine. Just in my experience with galleons, like, there's always one guy who is just messing around or just doesn't know what they're doing. And even one person not knowing what they're doing can make galleons difficult. Because they can just be slow and hard to operate. And everyone kind of has to be on the same page. Like, galleons can be fun, but if in a fight, I mean, you're just not going to win most of the time against a brig or a competent sloop. And that's just because you just simply don't have enough people. And everyone has to be on the same page. So I think a 5th player on the galleon would be cool, or like a 5th player ship, because there's also like those times where you have someone else who wants to play, but 4 players is the max. So they could do like a bigger ship that has like 5 or 6 players. I've seen concepts like a man of war ship. But if they do add a 5th player to the galleon, I think if you do that, then there should be an option where, not an option, but it forces you to only play in a server of galleons. I think that would kind of balance it out. Because if you do get a 5-man galleon of people who are just insane at the game, and everyone knows what they're doing, I mean, that's going to be kind of overpowered. So I think to balance it out is, if you do have that, then you should be on a server with only galleons. If you have 4 on a galleon, you could just be in a regular server. But if you're in a 5-man galleon, just to keep things balanced, it should put you in a separate server. But yeah, that's probably the most controversial thing on the list, I guess. I'm sure there is better ideas than that, but that's kind of like the one thing that I think would be cool. That, again, it's probably an unpopular opinion, but again, this list is just personal preference. And last on the list is being able to use gold in the Pirate Emporium. A lot of the coolest items in the game are Pirate Emporium exclusive, meaning you have to spend money on the game to get them. I think there should be an option with some of the items in the Pirate Emporium to be able to buy them with gold, even if they're expensive. At least you have the option to get it for free, because there's some stuff in the Pirate Emporium that's just so cool that you just have to spend money on. Like for me, for example, the King's Ransom set, that's my favorite set in the game. It was Pirate Emporium exclusive, and I mean, I bought it. I wish I didn't, but I did. I think it'd be cool if you could have an option to buy stuff with gold. Again, even if it's really expensive, just locking really the best items in the game cosmetically behind a paywall kind of sucks, because you can tell they put way more effort into designing all the paid items in the Pirate Emporium than the items you can earn for free just through playing the game. So that was my list of updates that Sea of Thieves needs in 2024. Let me know any ideas you guys have, and give me some feedback on my ideas. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you guys for watching. And if you like this video, then you'll probably like this video right here. And thank you for watching.